Close to Jerusalem is a small village with the name Bethany. There live friends of Jesus, two sisters, Mary and Martha, and their brother Lazarus. Mary is the one who has anointed Jesus' feet. Do you remember? When Jesus is in the area, he often stays at the home of his friends. But now Jesus is not near them. He is teaching on the other side of the river Jordan. One day Lazarus becomes very ill. So Mary and Martha sent a messenger to fetch Jesus quickly. When the messenger finds Jesus, he says, "Lord, Lazarus, the one you love, is very, very sick." When Jesus hears this, he says, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it's for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." Then instead of rushing to Bethany, Jesus stays where he is for the next 2 days. Then Jesus says to his disciples, "Let us go back to Judea." His disciples protest. They say, "A short while ago the Jews there tried to kill you, and yet you are going back?" Jesus is not scared. No one has power against him when he doesn't allow it. So he says to his disciples, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going there to wake him up." His disciples reply, "Lord, if he sleeps, he will get better." The disciples think Lazarus must be resting, but Jesus has been speaking of his death. Now Jesus says plainly, "Lazarus is dead. This will give you another opportunity to believe in me. Come, let us go to him." Lazarus has been in the tomb already for 4 days when Jesus arrives close to the village. When Martha hears that Jesus has arrived, she goes out to meet him. But Mary stays at home together with many Jews who have come to comfort the sisters in the loss of their brother. Martha says to Jesus, "If you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask." Jesus says to her, "Your brother will rise again." Martha answers, "I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." Jesus says, "I am the resurrection and the life. Anyone who believes in me will live, even though they die. Whoever believes in me will receive eternal life and shall never perish. Do you believe this?" "Yes, Lord," Martha replies. "I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who is to come into the world." Do you believe this as well? Then you will also receive eternal life, even though maybe you have to die on earth first. Then Martha rushes back home. She calls her sister Mary aside and says, "Jesus is here and is asking for you." Mary quickly gets up and goes to Jesus. The Jews in the house suppose she is going to the tomb to mourn there and follow her. When Mary reaches the place where Jesus is and sees him, she falls at his feet and says, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died." When Jesus sees her weeping, he feels so much compassion and asks, "Where have you laid him?" "Come and see, Lord," is the reply. Jesus weeps. Then the Jews say, "See how he loved Lazarus." But some of them say, "Couldn't he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying?" In between, Jesus arrives at the tomb. It is a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. "Take away the stone," says Jesus. "But Lord," protests Martha, "by now the smell will be terrible, for he has been there 4 days." Then Jesus asks, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they take away the stone. Then Jesus looks up. He prays, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I know that you always hear me, but I say this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me." Then Jesus calls in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" And look, Lazarus comes out. His hands and feet are wrapped with strips of linen, and a cloth is around his face. Jesus says to the people, "Take off the grave cloth and let him go." What a miracle! Do you see the power of God? Many Jews who have seen what Jesus has done believe in him. But some of them go to the Pharisees and tell them what Jesus has done. It is so bad, but the chief priests and the Pharisees give orders that anyone who finds out where Jesus is shall report it, so that they might arrest him. But Jesus has left the place.